Plus, we can see if it works.
No, working is good.
Working is good. I did not upload any videos today because A, I didn't have any time, and B, I didn't want to screw with the whole ping thing.
Mm-hmm.
So mine's not coming up. At least I don't think it is. Oh, there it goes. Now I got it. Just took it a second. So here we are. Summer Series round 3 already. Man, I really need to get on getting a hold of companies now for
prizes.
Yeah. Because normally I use the Hobbytown convention as kind of a starting point, because I get to talk to a lot of the companies in person and stuff. Well, we're still not having the Hobbytown convention in person this year, really, with vendors.
Really?
Yeah, with vendors and stuff, they're not doing that.
Huh? Are they just not going to do that ever again?
I think they'll do it again. There's a lot of chatter of kind of Hobbytown owners kind of missing, the old way of doing it, I guess.
Yeah.
I would imagine next year. I bet you we see the Nuremberg show and all that back next year too. I would hope so anyways.
Yeah. I'm surprised it's still a lucrative thing to have the convention with the vendors there. I mean, you can see all this stuff online instantly. That just seems kind of like old school magazine type day stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm texting my wife's trying to text me something. I'm telling her it's not coming through very well. Speaking of which, I'll turn down my volume.
Yeah, why don't you
so I don't have a bunch of weird pings in the middle of the show. That way I can forget about it again. So, here we are. We're just going to hang out for a quick second. Will's eating dinner, I believe.
Yeah, I was eating chips.
Chips and salsa.
Yeah, and salsa.
You know what I like to do? One of my favorite things is whenever we get tortilla chips and...
you put donuts on them?
No. I mean, knowing me, I probably would, but no. Cream cheese and mild salsa together.
Mild?
I don't like hot stuff. So I take cream cheese and salsa, put it in the microwave, get it really hot, and then I mix it all together, and then it makes this nice, creamy, yummy salsa. I learned it from Gretchen, actually. When I met her, she made that, and I'm like, what is that? And I tried it, and I'm like, holy crap, well, I haven't been doing this my whole life. So, yeah, I try to do that whenever I feel like chips.
Yeah. I try to stay away from any dairy.
Oh.
So, I don't really do that.
Yeah.
I used to make, ground hamburger meat, and then, I'll get, Velveeta cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And, taco meat, for taco Velveeta seasonings. And those Rotel chilies, and put those in your crock pot for football parties and stuff.
Oh yeah. Whenever I go home with Gretchen to her family, they always have stuff like that in the crock pot, kind of just sitting there brewing, and it's always really good. And I'm like, how come we don't do this?
Yeah, I do that for game days, and nobody's coming over.
I don't really have game day. I don't really care about football. And I mean, I kind of care about college now. College is it. I know no NFL. I don't give a crap about NFL. But the way Nebraska's been the last 20 years now, I don't know. Kind of don't care.
It's been a long losing streak.
Yeah, it has. It was almost more fun for me. It was more fun to get one of the football games that you could create a team and draft and create a dynasty and stuff, and start out with one of the really crappy teams, and then make them a winner. That was always more fun to me than actually
the
watching.
Panthers or something.
Well, yeah, let's see, who did I take to 6 straight national championships once? I think it was Buffalo. I became the coach of Buffalo. And then became a powerhouse and somehow ended up. It was in NCAA.
2000 college.
Yeah, 2013 or something like that.
Huh. Yeah, I've been getting into pro football more lately just because there's something to actually root for. But
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I've always been a Chiefs fan.
No, that's true.
Just because they're the closest team to us.
Yeah, that's true. When I was younger, my dad and I were pretty big Chiefs fans. I had like a Chiefs helmet for Christmas one year, and
really,
yeah. We didn't get a chance to see the Chiefs play, but we did go down and see the Royals play when Bo Jackson was playing both for Kansas City.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And I'm looking over the results from Hobby Action because I want to talk about that today. It's just an interesting deal. Huh. I saw who won mod, but I was looking to see if there was any names that I recognize from stock. There's the stock buggy A-main. Oh, Ballinger was in there. Zeke got third.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'll lead us in. Hey, guys. This is Alex Sturgeon with the Hobbytown Hobbyplex, and with me, as always,
Will Brinton.
And we're here to talk about just about everything going on with the Hobbytown Hobbyplex, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. It's Summer Series week, so because of that, it's kind of exciting for us. That's our big deal every summer. So, and we had a pretty good day. We had a really good day. I left Saturday feeling like happy,
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I would have if I were you.
Well, you got third in mod, so you can't. I mean, you should be happy too. That's a big deal.
You had a pretty good day.
You had a really good day. So we had that going on this weekend, and what else happened? We had the Hobby Action INS was going on this weekend.
Yeah.
Tom Rinderknecht went to that. And dude, I'm actually kind of bummed out for him because I think so. Roar normally places the 1/10 scale electric off-road nationals the second or third week of August, whatever the 13th and 14th and 15th is, whatever lines up with that week is. That's where they're supposed to put it. Because a long time ago, they noticed that when they jumbled dates around, everybody gets all ticked off because you got to wait for Roar to announce these races usually by November of every year, and a lot of times people are trying to schedule stuff before that. And knowing when the dates usually are, I put our round what is it going to be, round 5, August 29th, because I figured, well, that's not really around anything, and Hobby Haven doesn't really have their Labor Day race anymore, so we don't really have to worry about being close to that.
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold, this year the Nats at Mimi's are that weekend. And so Tom's going to miss 2 rounds, which is going to take him out of the series this year.
Is that the third Roar Nats they'll have there?
Second.
This is the second?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was supposed to be
last year.
Track. Yeah, last year. Okay. All right.
And Roar, to their credit, they just kind of all the nationals they didn't get done. They just kept the same tracks for the following year. As long as
that's the way to do it. Yeah.
As long as they were open, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, dude. So that's kind of a bummer because I know he had intended on making at least 5 out of 6.
Yeah.
And, oh well.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? That does kind of leave the door open now for everybody else.
Yeah.
Technically, well, we'll talk about points here in a little bit, but we'll see how that breaks down. He could not go. I think he has to go though, right? We should ask him
if he has to go.
Yeah, we should try to get him on the show again.
Yeah, I'm sure they want him to go.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And the reason why, well, you know what? First, Hey, did you know that this show is brought to you by Pivot Lending Group?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up. I almost forgot.
Yeah. If you
Kind of like how you almost forgot.
Yeah, exactly. If you call Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad and mention our show and get yourself a home loan or refinance, you can get $500 lender credit or 0.125 off your interest rate for anything that you get done with them. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. So as I was going to say, Tom was at the INS. I'm pretty sure Aiden was there. Aiden Horn. So Aiden and Austin Horn were both there. But as far as like local guys, I think Tom was pretty much it.
Yeah.
I saw Ballinger running stock, finished at least third in buggy. I haven't looked to see where he finished in 4-wheel drive.
Yeah. I didn't look.
But to be honest with you, Zeke doesn't come enough for me to claim him as a local. He's a more local.
Yeah.
MHOR. More. Oh, there he is. So he got fourth in 13.5. And Kyle Schmer, who's been up to the Plex, got third. He's fast. And I don't recognize any of these other names. So Davey Bada, of course, won the whole thing. Matty G was second. So kind of guys you
really?
should be up there. Should be up there in stock. We're up there in stock.
Yeah.
Davey Bada won 2-wheel as well. Matty G got second. Zeke got third in that one. Schmer was fourth. Charlie Cavalier. Let's see. Chase Board, Charlie Cavalier. He's been to the Plex. Gary Slater, Cole Jensen, Doug Lariviere. I'm going to kill that last name. Anyways. So the mod classes, I think Tom made the A in 4-wheel drive. Yeah, he did. Let's see where he finished. So I know he didn't make the A because I was watching the B main on the live stream. And boy, that track looked to me when I saw pictures of the track, I'm like, wow, there's not really too much to that track. But then I watched the race and there was a lot of crashes.
Yeah.
So I think
sometimes those tracks that don't look like they have a lot going on are like the hardest to go fast on, or like the hardest to be the best on.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm better on like more technical tracks because it kind of like evens the playing field a little bit from not just having to be punched all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
You know.
Yeah. Our track's very, very technical again. Now,
yeah.
Like if you compare our track to that track, size wise, it's kind of similar, but like that one just seemed fairly, I don't want to say simple because then you watch the racing and it didn't seem simple, but like our track's got elevation and a lot more corners and I don't know.
Yeah.
But then you watch the racing, you're like, oh, holy crap. Like, it was hard for these guys to hit stuff every lap the same way. Tom Rinderneck finished 9th in 4-wheel drive.
Oh, okay.
So, and he beat Zach Gastelum. Zach Gastelum was there. He's been to the Plex quite a bit. So your 4-wheel drive was Ryan Cavalieri, Cole Tollard. Look at Cole. Cole Tollard in second in 4-wheel.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Dustin Evans was third, then Aiden Horn, Ryan Mayfield, Spencer Rivkin, Blake Champlin, Charlie Mariana, Tom Rinderneck, Zach Gastelum, and then Austin Horn. I'm pretty sure he got the bump up. Did he get the bump up? Yeah, he got the bump up. So that's pretty cool. So I know that Tom did not make the mod 2-wheel, but Dustin Evans, Spencer Rivkin was second. That's his home track. Ryan Cavalieri, Cole Tollard with the top 5 again, got 4th. Aiden Horn 5. Dominic Passion, I'm going to guess the last name. Not a name I'm familiar with, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Ryan Mayfield, Brock Champlin, Austin Horn, Blake Champlin, and Charlie Mariana making the main. And I think, Austin Horn was the bump up there as well. So that's pretty cool. Kind of interesting, that track. That track seems to me like a Proline track, doesn't it? Do you think so?
I have no idea. I've never been there.
I remember the Nats a couple years ago there because I was comp director, and Proline tires were the dominant tire at the time, and Silvers weren't out yet back then either.
Yeah.
And I think
I thought Aqua was what you wanted from Jake
exactly.
at that track.
Aqua. I'm sorry, Aqua. I don't think Aqua was out yet, and I think Aqua was developed specifically for that track.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think if I remember right, that's what happened. That's weird. I'm getting hit up on my phone again for some reason. So that's it. Yeah. Well, while he was doing that, we were at the Plex having fun. Running the summer series.
Yeah, we were.
So I put it in a brand new layout. Remember, I was super tired last week, and when we had we had nothing to talk about.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah, we didn't have anything to talk about.
I feel like we probably should have just canceled that show.
Nah.
But I also feel like there needs to be consistency with what we do, right? So it's a struggle.
No, you never know when lightning's going to strike.
Well, like you can't just. I feel like we can't just say, we're not going to do it tonight, because then we might lose listeners and subscribers and viewers and all that stuff. I don't want to do that.
Maybe people just want to hear us talk about anything.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way. Got the track done, mostly done on Tuesday night. It actually worked out fine. So last Monday I was kind of freaking out because I ended up not going in Sunday like I had planned to.
Yeah.
And normally when I'm trying to do a bigger change, it's just a lot easier on me to go in Sunday night, tear the track up, be able to pick at it on a Monday. Because I don't know, for whatever reason, these things always end up working on the first Monday of the month, which is when we have our managers meetings. And so that takes a chunk of my Monday. And then you got to come here, and that takes another chunk out. And so I kind of felt like I was behind. But then that night when I went there, I got everything moved and raked out by Monday night. I went home. I went to sleep at 1:30, 2 o'clock or something like that. And woke up that following day at 10, went in there, finished it up, got it all done. I was there until 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. on Tuesday. And then I put the pipe down Wednesday night, and that was that. So, and I was pretty happy with how everything turned out. And then I put Stay Wet down Wednesday night as well and watered the crap out of it. And then it just sort of worked itself in on Thursday, and we got to practicing on Friday. So
yeah,
it was good. I like the layout now. I really like it a lot.
Oh, I thought it was great. I had no complaints.
I think that was the consensus, was everybody was really happy with the layout. So, I got a video done that I posted on YouTube Friday night. So, how did your practice go on Friday? You always kind of come in at 5 or 6 because you got to get off work.
Yeah, I get there at 6 usually. Then I get off work at 5.
So, how did it go?
Practice is fine. I ran. I only ran 2 packs. My stuff was good, so I just let it sit.
Did you run new tires or did you run old tires?
I always run brand new tires. Start out with a brand new set, break them in, and yeah, I now they're kind of slicked out. It's kind of where they needed to be for the main. So
yeah,
it's just easier that way. Just make sure you get a lot of goop in them.
Yeah. And did you make any big changes to your car at all? I changed my car.
I went down in shock oil. I went from 35, 32 and a half to 32 and a half, 30. I raised my inner ball stud 1 mil, so I'm at 4 mil on the inner one. And that was just to get the car to roll more for the more 180s and tighter corners that we had on that layout, and that has seemed to add some speed. I tried kind of putting my car back to the way I used to run it, and I didn't like it as much, and I put it back to this, what I have now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really change a whole lot. Like everything I changed other than that ball stud, I didn't like it as much, and I just changed it back.
So the previous week for club racing, I was just feeling my car, and I have not been comfortable with the 6.3 since I've gotten it.
Yeah.
You know? And whereas the other car, the 0.2, I felt like I never had to really do anything. I can just throw it down and go. So I've been trying to find that golden zone as far as my car setup goes. And I put V1 blue springs in the back. It was like one of the heaviest springs I had in my box just to try it. And back-to-back runs, I went from like 23 5s and 6s on the old layout to like 22 8s immediately. And the car felt good, and so then I was like, whoa, I wonder if I'm onto something here. And so then that their after-hours show, I went up in shock oil. I did the opposite of what you did. And I went to 1.8 pistons in the back. I had to make them because I didn't have any, and neither did the store. I don't know why, but they might be out, actually. Anyways, so I went to 1.8 pistons in the back, 35 weight oil, and I kept those blue springs on. And then in the front, I went to 37.5 weight oil with 1.617 pistons. So one hole 1.6, one hole 1.7.
Yeah.
And my car was, for me, for my driving style, man, that car was good. Like, it was comfortable. And at the end of the day, when I had to push, when I had to really drive hard and fast to try to catch up to Mac after I crashed, like, I felt like I could finally, and I was comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
So I was pretty happy. And I actually ended up starting on new tires as well. So I had that good set from the main last week because I was going to, like, these are my main tires. And then I remembered that I had mounted up a set of ellipses backwards. So I had one wheel going the right way and one wheel going the wrong way. And so then I mounted up another set the wrong way so that I had two sets.
Oh, that's good.
So now I got a whole set for next time.
Yeah.
That I can break in. And broke those in Friday night, and finally got them to where they felt nice and squishy, and pretty much just ran those tires all day. I did try. Yeah. So you can see my drag car here, right? My beautiful drag car. This thing is sexy. I love this thing. So I ordered gold hotties for this thing, right? And when I got them, so I got belted rear hotties, and I got gold hotties in the front. And I got those tires, and I opened them up, and they were sticky, right? And I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to put sticky tires on the front of my drag car? Because I feel like you wouldn't want that, right? Wouldn't you want your car more to like skip and slide in the front instead of having traction?
Maybe. It just I'm sure it depends on how you have your steering set up, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So then I thought, well, wait a minute, these are golds. So I mounted them to my buggy tires, and I wanted to try them Friday night. And when the track was still kind of fresh, those things were money. Like, I started giggling up there because they work so good. And then I'm like, well, we're going to have to try them when the track's a lot more grooved up and a little bit drier. And so I tried them that morning, and they were okay. And then so I ran the first qualifier on dirt webs, and then I ran the second qualifier on the hotties. And I told Mac afterwards, Mac TQ'd 40 plus mod Vanderbeek, and I told him, I said, dude, if you look at my car, it looks like it should be going crazy fast with these front tires on it, but it's not. Like, lap times don't show it, but it looked like it should. And it did. It had really good steering in a couple parts of the track, but then other parts of the track it had none. And I had to wait. I had to really turn and wait for my car. Whereas dirt webs, you didn't have to do that. So, I don't know. In a way, it was kind of like fun to show them off and to put them on there. It was kind of playing head games, maybe a little bit, you know. But they did work when the track was kind of wet and new. They were really good. But as the groove came in and the track dried out, and the tires wore down a little bit, then they stopped being good. So I went back to dirt webs for the main. I did refoam my webs though. I put 4-wheel drive. You let me grab a set of 4-wheel drive foams, and I put those inside of my front tires, and that really helped a lot. So, yeah. So then, okay. So then the story is Friday night. I'm editing this video. I'm trying to get it all done so I can get it out by say midnight, right? Because I wanted to have the practice video out before we got, we started doing the race stuff. And at like 12:30, this big giant, I could see flashes of lightning outside the window, and I'm like, uh-oh. And so I turned on the TV, and Bill Ramby, our weather guy, had his sleeves rolled up, and I'm like, oh shit, Bill's got his sleeves rolled up. Here we go. And sure enough, there's a storm, and you could see the radar. There was one storm that was flowing to the east, and there was one storm that was coming straight down from the north. And the one that was coming straight down from the north had like 90-mile-an-hour winds in it. And the one that was going east had like 80-mile-an-hour winds in it. And they were about to converge pretty much over Omaha. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, I have a north-facing house. I got a front row seat to this. So I took the camera outside on my Facebook and live streamed it. But we lost power. And then my phone only had like 8% on it. So then I was freaking out that I wouldn't be able to wake up in the morning. And I was trying to save my video, and it got like 41% done, and then my computer died. So then I was all freaked out about that. So then I'm like, well, the only place I have power to charge my phone is in my truck. So then I tried to sleep in my truck with the car on so I could charge it with the alarm on. And that wasn't working. And so and then I walked around the block just to see the damage. And like my neighbor behind me, all of his siding is gone off of his house. It's crazy. Really? Yeah, it's crazy. Our house was undamaged, totally undamaged. But I'm telling you, I was I was so freaked out I couldn't sleep, and so I ended up trying to force myself to fall asleep. I think the last time I looked at the clock was 3:30, and then I had to get up at 6:30 to go to the track. So I had very little sleep. So I was a zombie all day Monday. Mm-hmm. And I try to tell people, I'm like, look, if you talk to me and I ignore you, or if I seem like I'm being a jerk to you or whatever, it's like I'm not. I'm not awake today. I'm not awake.
Yeah.
And so we just made it through the day, basically. I just pushed myself to get through the day. Make sure we're on time, make sure I didn't piss anybody off, and ended up being a really good day.
Yeah. No, I thought it was.
So, go to the results here real quick. Let me go to tracks and go to our track. And I got to put in Hobbyplex, and then the imposter shows up, so I got to get rid of that one, and then go to results, and you scroll down here. So, what do we have? We ended up with 164 entries, 92 total drivers. I mean, that's kind of par for the course. It's on the lower side of this year, but it is kind of like vacation season, and like Tom Ritternecht was gone. Who else was missing? There was a couple that I was noticing weren't there, although there wasn't many. Mostly it was Tom, right?
I think so.
Yeah, there's more than that, but if I forget that you didn't come, don't take offense to it. But either way, it was still. I mean, that was a nice, easy day. I think we had 20 heats total when everything got reshuffled, and that's an easy day. That's less than 3 hours around, which means that to get the track prepped for the next round of racing, we kind of sit around 3 hours total, which is really good. Doesn't make for a super long day.
No, that's always nice.
Yeah. So, we'll just get right into it. So, Plex Spec, we had 2 heats of Plex Spec, dude. There was 18 Plexers for a Summer Series race. And I think I think we're picking up Hobbyplexers, because I think last round we had like 16. And the round before that we only had 10. So we're picking them up as we go, which is really good. So the Plex Spec points are pretty crazy, actually. We'll get to those here in a second, but Dalton Conrad only qualified 5th, but he ended up taking the win. Josh Benson, with his best finish of the year so far, qualified 4th but finished 2nd. Lexi Bolin qualified 2nd, finished 3rd. Grayson Stevie finished 4th. And then Diego Quintana got the TQ but finished 5th. And then you had Ariana Smith with another A-main appearance, finishing 6th with her Losi car. Eli Vanderbeek squeaked into the A-main, qualifying 8th and finished 7th. And then Riker Haley was 8th. And then you got your 2 bumpers, Motega Clancy, officially qualified 9th with the bump up, finished 9th. And then Mario Quintana, officially 10th, finished 10th. So I think the Plex Spec points are pretty interesting to look at. We'll get to the points after we're done here, now that we can actually talk about them a little bit. And then we got 4-wheel drive. We just went right into it. And, with Tom Rinderneck gone, I kind of sensed that there was an urgency. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of felt like the contenders were like, all right, Tom's not here. It's time to go. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And with that being said, dude, Aiden Olson with a TQ and a win, keeping TLR at the top.
Yeah.
So, he gets a 101. I believe, I don't remember it, but I'm pretty sure that that's the first mod class win that he's ever had at a summer series.
Oh, really?
I know he's finished 2nd a couple times, but I don't remember him ever finishing 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So, super props to Aiden for getting that done. And the cool thing about Aiden is like, we all know David Olson. He's behind the Pivot Lending sponsor group. Mm-hmm. David Olson knows absolutely nothing about RC cars, for the most part. So it's like Aiden's pretty much done everything that he's done on his own, and of course, obviously with help from us as he's come up, you know. But for the most part,
yeah,
he does all the work on his own, you know. So, really good job for Aiden. Nate Sutherland, from the 5th spot, ended up finishing 2nd. So Nate, again, this is his second place finish of the year. Round 1. No, that was 3rd. Never mind. Was it? Yeah, it was. He got 3rd in that one.
Yeah.
Because Alex Vanderbeek was gone. He ended up winning the first one. Anyways, Drew Rubin King hanging around up there and getting a 3rd. Vanderbeek had a weird day with his 4-wheel drive. Finished 4th. Ethan Delaire qualified 3rd, kind of fell back a little bit to 5th. Derek Wood had a solid day, finishing 6th. Owen Vanderbeek getting the bump up and finishing 7th. Tyler Pattenow, that X-Ray driver from Illinois, made the main in mod. I think it's his first time running mod here. Qualified 8th, finished 8th. Mitchell Pavel fell back to 7th, and then Tom Smith got the bump and finished 10th. And I'm pretty sure that's his 2nd A main of the year in that class, if I remember correctly. Then we had 13.5 Stadium Truck. Brian Burnt was pretty much kind of untouchable in this one. So I think this class is kind of his if as long as he doesn't screw it up for the next 3 rounds.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Brian's a very consistent driver, so I do not expect him to do anything to screw it up. So, but I mean, he was gone. I mean, after the 1st or 2nd lap, I'm going to start posting the videos tonight. I think after the 1st or 2nd lap, he was gone, and he just had he just had to avoid traffic. Hang on a second here. That was good. Brian Cox, all the way from the 6th spot, finishing 2nd.
Yeah.
So that's
anything can happen in those truck races.
Yeah. John Bairding finished 3rd. Tyler Fleming was 4th. Justin Stevie was 5th. And then this is kind of a bummer. So TJ Williams was having a great day up until the mains. He qualified 2nd in truck. He TQ'd independent buggy and I think he was in the hunt for the bump in the 4-wheel drive. I can't remember if he made it or not. He might have made it, actually. So he still had a good day, all things considered. But he qualified second, finished sixth. So it might have been a ball cup again, actually. I don't know. I can't remember. Brady Papanow was 7th. Josh Catrone was 8th. Josh Ryan was 9th. And Mark Schmidt was 10th. But, yeah, truck, we'll look at the points, but I think Brian's kind of starting to pull away now. Mod 40 plus. So I'm going to preface this with this. So Mac and I finished 0.2 of a second apart again. So this has happened quite a bit over our racing lifespan, racing against one another for like 30 solid years now, maybe something like that. 25 years. I don't know what it is, but Mac's always been a contender anytime. Like when we were going to Chile back in the day, Chillicothe, Missouri, every single, winter and the 2 races they always had, the North Missouri Championships or whatever, and then regionals and all that stuff. You know, whenever I saw he was there, I was like, oh crap. All right. So this goes back a long, long ways. Yeah, so I've been watching the Tour de France. Okay. And I've noticed that a lot of times there's kind of this unspoken rule among riders in the Tour that if you have a group of riders and a certain team is putting in a lot of the work to pace everybody, that rider's guy that they're pacing with is supposed to end up winning the stage or winning the point or whatever when they cross, whether it be for the jersey or whatever. Even though it's a race, there's still this like unspoken rule almost. But inevitably, there's always some douche canoe that's like in the group, in the breakaway or in the chase or whatever, in the breakaway, that sneaks up there and then at the last second crosses the line in front of who was supposed to win the race, and everybody hates that guy. Everybody looks at that guy, gives that guy dirty looks. Just they're like, man, we did all the work and you come and take our glory from us, you know? So that's how this race basically went. I was the douche canoe that on the last turn of the last lap passed Mac to win the race. So unfortunately, I couldn't get anybody to video this one. And so it's kind of lost in bonus lap land on Live RC. There is video of it. I've seen it. It's on Live RC. It's in the 40 plus A main. You can log in and see the race video from the but you got to be a bonus lap member, right? So but the actual our Hobbyplex show account won't show it because I don't have anybody to video it. But that being said, this was a fantastic race. I mean, straight out. Probably. So I've had 2 really good races this year. One was the TCS AMA number 1 back in March, where I TQ'd. I made a bobble right off the start. This fast kid, Nathan Weir, who always dominates GT2, got in front of me, and then I followed him and chased him for like, it was a 5-minute race. I followed him and chased him for 3.5 minutes. He finally bounced off the pipe, and I got around him. But I was like this far from this dude in that race for 3.5 minutes. I mean, it was intense. This was the same way. So 8 minutes of me just basically following Mac, making sure I don't run into him. And then I made a mistake with like 3 minutes left to go, and I had to like race my butt off to catch back up to him. I caught him on the second to last lap, followed him again, then really pressured him that whole last lap. And on the last corner, I came in. I think I was faster than he was through the new doubles that we have. And so I sent it in there. I went a little wide, and then I cut in really tight. And I don't think I touched him, but if I did, it must have been just barely touching him. And his car kind of shot off a little bit, and then I went through straight line that chicane, and I ended up winning the race. He was kind of mad.
Yeah,
I would be too if I led that whole thing. Although I will say that lately, if a pass like that happens, and it's not a dirty pass, like if it's not something that where you clean somebody out and then you go on to win the race. Like I don't know. I kind of would have thought, me personally, my side of it is I would have thought that was cool. I would have sucked. I would have hated it because I don't like losing. But I can see how he's frustrated. Again, because he led the entire 8 minutes. He paced the whole field for 8 minutes. He made it through all the traffic. You know, he was the first one to catch traffic. He was the first one to have traffic move. He did all the work, and at the last second, I came in and stole it away. So, sorry. You know. That being said, we tied in points again. He got a TQ in second, and I got a win. So we're both even, Steven again. So what are you gonna do? So Matt got second. David Peevler picked up a solid third. The three of us got 20 laps. Brian Cox got fourth. Brian Burnt was fifth. Alex Rosetto, it's his first time at the Plex, finished sixth. Josh McMullen was seventh. Kurt Benson was eighth. Matt Robinson was ninth. And Jason Haley, his car was busted, so he couldn't run the main.
Yeah.
So then we go to independent buggy. And, so TJ Williams TQ'd this one and then kind of just had a rough go of it. But, you know, it happens. So with that, Cole Webb qualified second. So these are those two young kids. That's why I love independent buggy. Cole Webb just moved up from Plex Spec 6 months ago, you know? So he took the win kind of by a lot. He had a 19-lapper, and everybody else had 18s. Matt Mosier from the 8th spot all the way up to second. And I believe that his car was busted. Remember we were working on his car?
Yeah.
He had that. So he had the drag link on the Losi car came off. And so we had to, it's really hard to get to. So we had to, take long-nose pliers and try to shove it in there, stick it on there. I didn't think it was going to last, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you made her work.
Justin Seeby finished third. Tyler Fleming is fourth. Brady Papanow from the 9th spot up to 5th. Daniel Bender was 6th. Jana Peevler was 7th. Eli Webb was 8th. TJ drops to 9th. And Jake Poteet looks like he didn't run this one. I think he had to go. I think he had to go to work, is what he told me.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
I know. And then Mod 2-wheel, dude. So Mod 2-wheel drive, again, with Tom not being here, there was kind of this, to me, there was a sense of the other major players going, all right, it's our time to you know, we don't have to worry about Tom right now, so let's get her done, you know. So Alex Vanderbeek, I believe last year's Mod Buggy champ, got the TQ in the win for the day. And but he only finished 1 second ahead of Drew Rubin King. So those two were pretty close. So Drew with another solid top 3 finish. And then Will, from the 7th spot, you worked hard all day and ended up finishing 3rd.
Yeah.
Is that your second podium this year?
No, it's my first one.
Oh, I thought you had a podium in round 1 or something.
No.
Oh.
In 13.5 4-wheel.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Okay. Nice. So, if I remember correctly, you just kind of minded your own business out there.
Yeah, I just kept picking them off, you know.
And then you had
waiting for some.
You had Derek and Ethan pressuring you, probably the last half of the race, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And just held them off.
Yeah. I just kept him held off, and they'd make a mistake and drop back. And I think they only made a charge twice, and then I never saw him again.
Yeah.
But well, no, I say that, but Ethan was like a tenth of a second away from making the line with me.
Yes.
On the last lap.
That's right. And then you kind of could breathe at that point.
Yeah, I made the loop, and he didn't by that much. Because
the previous lap, he made a whole bunch of time up. I remember that now. He made a lot of time up on that last lap, and you know, if you would have made the line, it might have been different. I think you still had a little bit of a gap on him, but he came that second to last lap. He made up maybe a full second, I think, is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, clearly you, from where I saw it, you were clearly making sure you didn't make any mistakes to give it away.
Yeah, pretty much.
You were just
yeah.
like, don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything stupid. You know. So that really, I think that picked you up quite a bit in the points too. Ethan Delaire finished 4th in that one. Derek Wood, again, Derek had a solid day. You know, last round he struggled. I mean, he was in the B.
Mm-hmm.
You know, qualified 5th, finished 5th. Aiden Olson had a weird day. He's usually up there more, in my opinion. He's usually 2nd or 3rd qualifier this year. But he qualified 5th or 6th, finished 6th. Bradley Peterson from the bump finished 7th. Owen Vanderbeek was your final qualifier, 8th qualifier in the main, finished 8th. Jeremy Fellows dropped down. I know he was up there early, and if I remember right, you guys were basically going side by side over that back double.
Yeah, I told him I was sorry about that, but it was side by side, so I kind of kept going.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything you could have done about that. You guys were side by side. It just happened to be that you guys touched in the air basically, and it could have gone either way. You could have landed on your lid, and he could have kept going. It wouldn't have been anybody's. Yeah. It wasn't anybody's fault.
Yeah.
And then Nate Sutherland, he had a weird day too in 2-wheel drive. He was not happy with his car at all, and finished 10th. But he did make the main, so he gets those main points. So. Again, top 10 always get a award no matter what, so, you know, it's not entirely terrible. 13.5. So I was personally extremely happy that the guys from Illinois came back and that this race was a very clean race.
Yeah.
Like, I was holding my breath for a minute, but it ended up being fine. Round 1. The 13.5 race was probably one of the messiest races we've had in a long time. And I kind of felt bad, you know, because that normally it wasn't the fact that everybody was hacking or driving in. It was just there was just a lot of crashing, like lots, and it just collected everybody lap after lap after lap.
Yeah, that race had like, what was it, 12 different lead changes?
Yeah, it was nuts, absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
So. So this one went a lot better, especially if your name is Jackson Anderson, because you got a TQ and a win. You got TQ and a win in 13.5. Tyler Patnow did finish 2nd, just missed the extra lap. Chance Rolk with a very good finish. He had a really good weekend as well. Finished 3rd. Caden Berding from the 8th position up to 4th. Good finish for him. Easton McCormick finished 5th. Peevler qualified 6th, finished 6th. Ruben King was 7th. Orlando got the bump, ended up 8th. TJ did get the bump up and finished right where he bumped up at 9th spot. And then Nate Sutherland again seemed kind of unhappy with his stuff and pulled it off. Actually, one of these, his car was actually broke. Might have been this one.
I think it was that one. Yeah.
But Nate's always super fast in 13.5. He's last year's champ. And I think he's prepping for like Nats and stuff. So,
yeah,
that's pretty cool. To see him mix it up. And then mini truggy. So we got 2 races left, and we'll talk about points for a little bit. Then we'll take a pivot break, and we'll get to any questions or anything that there is.
Sure.
So mini truggy, we had Emerson Sturgeon pulling out of his butt a win. So he could have TQ'd. Like, he should have TQ'd, but the last maybe 30 seconds of his second qualifier was terrible. Like, he just crashed it away. I couldn't believe it. And I don't normally scold him anymore because he's 14 and he's actually taller than I am for racing, like driving bad. But on the mic, I was like, yeah, dude, you just wasted your tires and wasted your truck. Like, sit down, stop driving your car. Because he was like driving it afterwards when there's still a race left. And I'm like, put it down. Don't waste it like you just did.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. I'm sure everybody else is like, man, that Alex dude's mean to his kid.
No, it's funny.
Okay, good. I'm glad it was funny. He finished 0.4 of a second in front of Dustin. These guys had another epic finish through, I'm calling it the keyhole. Is that the right thing to call it? That little chicane?
Sure.
All right. Dustin tried to do what I did in 40 plus. He tried to line up a last second pass there, and just came up a little bit short. Emerson had too much of a lead on him in that spot. Mm-hmm. But again, I saw it coming. Dustin swung out wide, and then tried to straight line it through there, and just missed it by half a second. But the good thing is Emerson broke last round. He was showing off in front of his cousins, and he broke his truck on like the third lap. So, I'm glad he was able to come back and get the win in this one. He's got a 1-point lead. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Because Dustin's really fast with this. He really likes mini truggy, and it's fun. It's gonna be fun to watch these guys mix it up the rest of the year. Bryson Pavel qualified 6th and finished 3rd. He moved up a bunch. Patrick Mitrovic from the bump spot up to 4th. Ronnie Wint with a great finish. Qualified 10th, finished 5th. Dylan Hartshorn finished 6th. Matt Robinson was 7th. Chad Hartshorn qualified 3rd, but ended up finishing 8th. And Ashley McCormick got 9th. And then Jake Poteet got the points, but he had to go. He had to go to work. And then finally, so we had Expert Buggy last. And then one of the reasons why Expert's last is because there's a couple guys that are trying to run mod and stock, so I can't have those two races next to one another. And then there's a couple guys that run Indy and Expert that could make the A main in theory. So I don't want to have those two next to one another. So in order to spread these out and get everybody a chance to get their stuff ready or to marshal or whatever, it's last this year. And Jeremy Fellows taking the win. Tyler Patnaud got 2nd in this one, and then Jackson Anderson got a TQ and a 3rd. And Jackson's car looked a little squirrely to me when I was announcing the race. Not making excuses for him, but to me, his car, he didn't look comfortable driving that car. And then he had to work his way through the field, whereas Jeremy and Tyler really didn't.
Yeah.
Tyler had the lead, I believe, on the last lap, and he turned it into the pipe after the big sweeper off the straightaway. And Jeremy was
really?
Yeah, and Jeremy
That's an easy place to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you're coming in really fast right there, and if your car grabs a bump the wrong way or just a little bit too much traction, it can definitely just turn you. David Peevler with the bump up in 4th place. That's where we're used to seeing him, is, getting a top 5 for sure. Cody Lundberg, again, one of those guys from Illinois, finished 5th. Chad Rubenking with 6th. Orlando with 7th. Chance Rolk with 8th. Caden Berding with 9th. And Dustin Hosick ended up finishing 10th. And that is your race day. So round 3 in the books. We got 2 weeks. So we have, is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks? We have the Saturday Truck Series this Saturday, and then a club race, and then another Summer Series race.
Yeah, I got my gas truck all ready to go.
Oh man.
Yeah. I'm ready to run it. I think I might put my other pipe back on it though. It was easier to drive with the OS pipe on it.
And you practiced, you took quite a few laps at the end of the day.
Yeah, I only ran like 2 tanks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the thing ran forever.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's why. You seem to attract a lot of attention.
Yeah, it did. Those if you're Chad Parks listening, there's a lot of people watching me run this thing.
Yeah, it was cool.
Hopefully, we get some interest. It'd be nice to have more people want to race that.
Yeah, we got to get some of those guys that come up from Kansas City. It's hard to get people to travel when they have their own track, but if your own track hasn't been able to race in like a month due to rain, maybe it's time to come up to the Hobbyplex.
Yeah, I made a post in the Gas Truck Resurrection Facebook group telling people about our truck series. So I don't know, if we get like 2 people to come out of that group, that'd be worth it.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Stock Slash.
Yeah.
Just taking a break from all the serious stuff and get ready to put my fender on people again.
Yeah, maybe somebody will have one I can drive or something.
Yeah. Okay. So points. Let's talk about points, then we'll take a pivot break, and we'll see if anybody has anything in the chat for us. So we'll start with just how it goes on here. So 13.5 four-wheel drive. So I mentioned that we had, let's see what it says. Yeah, 49 different drivers in 13.5 four-wheel drive this year so far.
Wow.
That's crazy. I'm actually kind of happy that they don't all show up at once.
Yeah.
Could you imagine how long our day would be if all these people that came all showed up on the same day?
Yeah, we'd have like 200 entries or more.
Which I'm not saying that's bad. It's just a day would be long. So Jackson Anderson has, let's see, 2 wins, 1 TQ, and a second with the TQ point. So he's got 201 points right now, with 1 drop being 100. Chance Rolk is in the second position with 197. Tyler Patnaud has 196. Easton McCormick has 195. And Caden Berrien has 194. So Jackson's got a pretty good lead, but that battle for basically second through 5th is super duper close. And then there's a little bit of a gap to Nate Sutherland, then Dustin Hosick, Chad Ruben King, Ashley McCormick, and Orlando Martinez shakes out your top 10 with David Peevler 3 points back in 11th. So, obviously the top 3 get the big awards, but 10th place, everything down to 10th place gets something. Everybody else just gets to have their fingers crossed for a free car.
Mm-hmm. Man, I've never won a car. I never won anything. I've never won any big prize at the Summer Series.
Well, I mean, you never know. Your time's coming. Oh my God. Okay. I wanted to mention this last week, and I was so out of it that I totally forgot. So remember with our Summer Series prizes, we have the John Chuck rule.
Yeah.
Because the first year that we ever did the Summer Series, we had, I think, 5 classes, and we had a kit for every single class. And John, I can't remember his last name now, but Chuck Hutchins won 2 kits, and then John won the other 2, and then I think it was, I can't remember. Anyway, somebody else won one. Well, anyways, we didn't set a rule that said that you couldn't win more than 1 vehicle. And so when I pulled their name out more than once, I was like, oh, crap. Well, I mean, I did pull your name out, and you did pay your entry fee, so here you go. But after that, I'm like, all right, from this point on, you can only win 1 class, 1 car, right? So Chuck Hutchins passed away like 3 weeks ago, I just found out.
Oh, that's a bummer.
And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I just saw he had just come in. He had been out of RC for a while, or maybe at least racing-wise for quite a while. But he came into the store not that long ago, and we chatted a bit, and I told him about the John Chuck rule still being in effect, and he's like, man, that's great. That's awesome. He still has one of the cars or whatever. And then Tony Price called up and wanted to talk to Tim and I and informed us that Chuck Hutchins just basically, I think he had a heart attack in his house.
Really?
Yeah,
really
devastating. So you know how Zeke Bollinger's, he doesn't have any hands. Well, Chuck had hands, but they were not developed. So he kind of had the same deal that Zeke Bollinger has. He kind of had to learn how to drive with what he had, basically. And I was always amazed by how well he drove. He was really good. I mean, he drove great. And I don't know the name of what it is that it was from birth. But anyways, what a bummer.
Yeah.
Not to put a bummer on anything, but man, so the guy but he will forever be enshrined with us as having the John Chuck rule. Yeah. So Chuck Hutchins, rest in peace. Thanks for giving us that rule. Anyways, okay. Stadium truck. Brian Burnt has a 4-point lead over Tyler Fleming. He's got right now 2 TQs and wins. And Tyler Fleming has a couple of points over John Berding, who's got 1 point over Brian Cox, and then a couple points back is Justin Stevie. Justin Stevie and TJ Williams are actually tied, but Justin's got the better tiebreaker. Then a little ways back is Dayton Mosier, then Brady Popenow, Phil Palmer, and then Nick Sneathen, who wasn't here this time. That's another guy that was gone. Nick and Nevin didn't make this one. But right now he's tied for 10th spot. And then Josh Catrone is back there in 11th, waiting in the wings, basically. Expert Stock Buggy, you have Jeremy Fellas with a 2-point lead over Jackson Anderson. He's got 2 TQs, 1 TQ and a win, and 1 second and a win, and then 1 not TQ but a win. So he's sitting pretty with points right now. Jackson Anderson second, Tyler Patton is third, and then kind of a gap starting to form back to fourth, which is Cody Lundberg, one of the Illinois guys. And then Dayton Mosier in fifth, Easton McCormick sixth, Chance Rolk is seventh, David Peevler is eighth, Orlando Martinez is ninth, and Chad Rubniking is 10th. And he's tied with Caden Berding, but has the better tiebreaker. So Caden right now is 11th. But again, we're only halfway through the season. So, and there's 31 expert stock buggies total this year so far. 40 plus mod buggy. Mac and I are tied, and we're like really tied. Like not like throwout score tied. We're like tied all the way across the board. So his points are 100, 100, 100, and my points are 100, 100, 100.
You guys should have like a race to the death or something
Yeah,
if you tie.
Exactly.
You should have like some kind of race, tiebreaker race.
What sucks right now is, so we've made the new tiebreaker rule where first it's low score, throwout score, right? And then I'll look at the second lowest score for a second tiebreaker, and then after that we go to wins.
Yeah,
we're tied.
Yeah, it's all the same. Like if you have all that go down to the end, like you need to have like a battle royale race.
Yeah. So, that's going to be crazy. It's going to be one of those stupid ties that like I like worry about now for, all year long. I'm going, oh man, why does it have to be this way? Brian Burnt right now is sitting in the third spot. I think he's got 2 third-place finishes. Yeah, he does. David Peevler is fourth. Brian Cox is fifth. Kurt Benson, Josh McMullen, Phil Palmer, Matt Robinson, and Ashley McCormick now round out the top 10. And then you got a couple guys that'll probably drop off of that when the throwouts start to really come up because they won't be here, basically. Independent stock buggy. So this one's still pretty close. You have Tyler Fleming with 199 in the lead. Then you got Justin Stevie with 197, Matt Mosier with 195, Brady Popenow with 194, Cole Webb with 193, TJ Williams with 192, Daniel Bender with 190. Then, let me change things here. Then a little ways back is going to be Jake Poteet, Phil Palmer, and Jana Peevler rounding out the top 10 of independent with Nick Sneathen back there, but he's about 4 points off right now of that 11th or that 10th spot. And according to this, there are 40 different independent buggies so far this year.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That's really good. Mini Truggy has Emerson Sturgeon with a 1-point lead, so that TQ and win in round 1 really helped them out. Dustin didn't get a Truggy till round 2, so his throwout is a 0, and Emerson's throwout is a 91. So, So right now Emerson's nursing that lead. So Dustin Hosick is right behind him by 1 point. Matt Robinson a little ways back with third. Then Patrick Mitrovic, Bryson Pavel, Ashley McCormick, Ronnie Went, Chad Irwin, Dylan Hartshorn, and Jake Poteet in a 3-way tie, it looks like, for 10th place. Chad Hartshorn and Jonathan Haas, only 1 point off, tied for 11th. Then Mod Buggy, so Mod 2-wheel drive. We got Tom Rennerneck still out in front, but remember, I don't think he's going to make them. He's going to have another race he's going to miss. So right now, Alex Vanderbeek in second, just 1 point back, and then Drew Rubin King, and then Ethan Delaire, and then you are fifth right now, just 1 point back of Ethan, and Aiden Olson is 1 point back from you.
Okay.
So that's going to be a tight finish for what I think should be for third place, because Tom's going to drop out with the extra missing race.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, you guys aren't really that far back from Drew. Anything's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Nate Sutherland right now is 7th. Derek Wood is 8th. Riley Filbert is 9th. And Owen Vanderbeek is 10th. And Jeremy Fellas is the one in 11th place, and he's tied with Bradley Peterson as well. So those 4 guys, all kind of right there.
Mm-hmm.
In 2-wheel mod, there's been 25 different racers.
They must all be coming pretty consistently, because that's about what we have usually.
Usually 2 or 3 heats. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm looking at the names right now, and for sure. A couple of them will drop out. I don't think Matt Robinson's going to race mod again. And so, I mean, it'll kind of filter itself out, but yeah, we usually get about 20 to 25 cars.
Yeah.
Mod 4-wheel drive, same thing. So Tom Rennerneck is leading, but again, I'm pretty sure he's going to miss that extra one in August. So Aiden Olson now has a 3-point lead over third place. And third place is tied between Nate Sutherland and Alex Vanderbeek with 197. So he's got 3 points over those guys. So if Tom makes it in the next one, but then doesn't make it for August, then Aiden's sitting pretty to kind of inherit that lead.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he doesn't do anything stupid to screw it up. Ethan Delaire is 5th. Drew Rubin King is 6th. They're tied. And then Owen Vanderbeek is 7th. Derek Wood is 8th. Mitchell Pavel's 9th. And Bradley Peterson is 10th. And Brandon Carney was another one that wasn't here. He is right now in 11th. Okay, let's see. And then we got Plexbeck. And this one, it's not as close as I thought it was. So Dalton Conrad is leading with 201. Lexi Bowen has 199. And it's basically that third place right now for Lexi this round. That's keeping it open a little bit more. It would have been a lot closer. Josh Benson is 3rd. And then Diego Quintana, Grayson Stevie, Dylan Haas, Ariana Smith, Eli Vanderbeek, Isabella McMullen, and Mario Quintana is 10th. And Ryan Nemec is just on the outside looking in, and we have had 22 different Plex Spec racers. So that's pretty good for a summer series. Summer series sometimes can be kind of intimidating for those guys, it seems like.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll take a pivot break real fast, and then we'll look at the chat. If you want to ask us a question or bring up something, go ahead and do it, and we'll try to get to it. And if you want to get to us right away, leave some money.
Yeah, give us some money.
Give us some money.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Yeah!
This is a Pivot Lending Update with David Olson and Don Zoller. Get some.
This is David Olson with Pivot Lending Group. Today is May 10th, 2021, and we are going to be talking about temporary financing. Pivot Lending Group works with several credit unions, community banks, across the Midwest and on the West Coast, soon to be on the East Coast, that we're teaming up with to have an alternative to your traditional bridge mortgage. In a bridge situation, you would be purchasing your future home as well as retaining your departing property for a short period of time until that property sells. And on your home that you'd be purchasing, you would have long-term financing. And then once your loan on the home that you sell gets paid off, then everything's a wash. Great programs, tons of great bridge programs out there. The downside to a traditional bridge is you end up in a situation for potentially 1 or 2 months, maybe longer than that, of having 2 mortgage payments. You have the mortgage payment on the property that you're purchasing, and then you still have the mortgage payment on the property that you bridged out to help you with that purchase. Teaming up with our financial institutions, credit unions, and the community banks on the temporary side, we can come in, lend the money to purchase the new home, and then bundle everything together on your primary house that you're selling, on the new home, and put it into just one master note. And then you have one monthly payment on that master note. And potentially you can even have deferred payment to the end of the term, the short-term term, until that house is sold. So really excited about that. Gives you guys the opportunities to come in and to put yourself ahead of the line with some of the other buyers, because you can come in, contract quickly without a lot of additional conditions or requests with the seller. Makes you really, really attractive. There are some things that you have to have in order to qualify for it. Obviously equity is a big one, pretty strong credit and those sorts of things. If you have any questions on that program, feel free to give me a call, 402-881-5951, and we can walk you through and show you the differences between a traditional bridge loan and temporary financing.
David Olson, NMLS 16099. Don Zoller, NMLS 277589. Pivot Lending, NMLS 109995.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Well, I was
back.
Gretchen.
Are we back?
Yeah, Gretchen texted me something, and I was getting all excited because I thought that we could do like a funny bit with her and her text again, but it was a TikTok video.
Oh,
and I'm sorry, I'm not gonna entertain a TikTok video on our thing.
my wife keeps sending me TikTok videos.
I don't know what it is with wives and TikTok videos.
Yeah, it's like, the heck. I don't know. Some of them are kind of funny. Like, I don't have a TikTok.
Yeah,
never gonna have a TikTok. I'm never gonna talk tick.
Yeah,
nothing.
My sister's pressuring me to do TikTok as well, because
Why, Margie? Why?
as a social media connoisseur, we need to encompass all varieties of such things so that we can get more popular. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'd do with a TikTok video. I feel stupid.
Am I a social media influencer now?
We might be, kind of.
You're on your way.
We're on our way. My sister says
we need more money.
We need more money. Okay, here's a text. I was scrolling up trying to find something that my wife texted me. So, this is from Friday. Can you please not come home until 3:30 so we can get this mowing done? And she's referring to Emerson. I'm supposed to take Emerson to his grandparents' house to mow. And then as I'm sitting at the Plex, she writes, "Can you do me a favor and not put your computer bag on the ground at Hobbytown? I don't want any critters brought home. Thanks."
She's asking a lot.
Man, I tell you, like I love my wife to death, but I mean,
that's where you draw the line.
She's texting me at where I can put my bag at. I mean, come on. It's not like I put my bag on the ground and all of a sudden there's going to be a nest of bugs brought home from.
Well, you did sit your bag in that hornet's nest that one time, and it had hornets in it. Oh yeah. You like sit it right on top of an anthill and they start carrying it away.
Oh man, you know I put my foot in an ant nest once. So we had a sinkhole in our front yard, like maybe a year after we moved in at our new house, and I had taken a bucket and all these homes were going up all around us and they had dirt piles everywhere. So I went and took this bucket and went and filled up the bucket full of dirt, and I was filling up this hole, and I had my sandals on, not these, but my old ones.
Yeah.
and I was pushing
Your
it down.
Birkenstocks?
Yeah, I was.
Did you have Birkenstocks?
No, I didn't. There was some sort of Skechers or something.
And listen to
I honestly,
Dave Matthews
I don't know.
Band?
I don't know if I'd wear Birkenstocks.
No, I would never listen to Dave Matthews Band either.
I used to love Dave Matthews. I used to love Dave Matthews Band. I can still recite most of the first album.
My neighbor loves Dave Matthews Band and U2. And I like make fun of him all the time. I'm like listening to really loud stuff in my garage.
Yeah.
Because we both ride scooters, so I'll be out there like scooters like what? And like like I'm in my garage working on stuff and
yeah.
And he's like, you need to turn that loud stuff off. I said, you need to quit listening to that. Well, I called it something else that I can't say on the show. U2 and Dave Matthews Band.
Emerson gets really embarrassed when I have my music playing in the garage.
Yeah.
Because it's all, Radiohead and Foles.
I like Radiohead.
Have you ever heard of Foles? They're kind of a...
No.
They're kind of a... I don't know.
Hole? I've heard of
Foles.
Hole.
No, not Hole. What's another band that's like Foles? Oh, geez. I'm having a brain fart. Anyways, I'll bring it up again later. Anyways, back to the story. So I was putting my foot in this sinkhole, and I was sitting...
You put in hole?
I was putting in the hole. I was sitting it down, and I was pushing it in, and the next thing I know, I'm starting to get pinched, like all over my loin area, and
epidermis,
and then I pulled my foot out of this hole and it's covered in ants, and that freaked Gretchen out. I have not seen her as freaked out very often as that moment when I pulled my foot out and it was covered in ants and they were all biting me and it really hurt.
Were you like?
I was like running around like going, get it off, get it off. And it was terrible. And then I was sitting in the lawn, and so they crawled up my leg, and then they crawled up my shorts, and they crawled into my pants, and they also bit me in various places, and it was very uncomfortable for a little while.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's totally sweet. So that's one reason why she doesn't want me to bring bugs home, is because apparently I attract ants, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you're the Ant Man.
Yeah. Nick Nuthouse dropped a super chat for you.
Who, me?
Yeah, it's $3.33.
Why $3.33?
For third place.
Oh, man! I'll finish 10th, so I get $10 and 10 cents.
I never thought about that. Wow.
Yeah.
With that logic,
Sweet.
yeah, you'd want to finish 10th. You wouldn't want to finish first. Okay, I'm gonna go up through the chat real fast, and then we'll get out of here. Sam says hi. Philip Hoke. We were missing Philip. He wasn't there.
Oh yeah.
He's waving at us.
Philip.
Sam wants to know, is Sam Rinderneck's 2020 Reedy Race of Champions setup sheet good for the Plex? I can't imagine it. Tom's.
Oh, Tom.
I can't imagine it not being.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you and I both been there. It's similar attraction level. They maybe get more towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Well,
kind of.
You have to think about the tires they're running at that track too.
Well, yeah, that's true. Doesn't 4-wheel drive run Proline and then 2-wheel drive run J Concepts, or the other way around somehow?
It's changed, or it changes sometimes, but I think that 4-wheel drive was J Concepts. Okay. I don't remember. I wasn't there last year, or last time we ran it. So
yeah, it's been a while.
I mean, you kind of have to think too, like, it might be kind of an old setup because it was like 2019.
Yeah.
You just have to text Tom and ask him what he's doing.
Yeah, Tom will usually respond to you too. But I'm still telling you that the stock setup out of the box, that car performs just fine.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever get lost setup wise, just put that stock setup right back on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Setups are so weird because not everybody drives the same either. I mean, I
yeah. I don't feel like I could drive one of Tom's cars, honestly. Like, it's just that his stuff is probably a lot faster than I could handle driving it.
Right.
Especially 4-wheel.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He drives my car. He's like, dude, this thing's awesome. You know, like, like even when you drove for Associated.
Yeah. I drive your car. I'm usually going, oh, wow, this car works really good.
Yeah.
Usually you drive my car and you're like, this thing's a wet noodle.
Yeah, it doesn't go. Like, it just doesn't go. Your cars just don't go.
I remember when Gil Losi Jr. was there that one weekend basically, and we were testing out tires.
Yeah.
And I let him drive my car. And he was like, I don't know how you drive this thing.
Yeah.
I was devastated.
It's like trying to push a wet rope down the straightaway.
My childhood idol was like telling me my car sucked, and I'm like, ugh.
Never meet your heroes.
Yeah. Wah, wah. Peter Renault said his Coney sauce is going in.
Coney sauce.
Coney sauce. Interesting.
Who said that?
Peter. Canadian
sauce?
Coney sauce. I assume it's hot dogs, right?
Is it maple syrup?
Man.
Or it's like brown gravy. They put brown gravy on everything up there.
Right.
Or at least French fries.
He also wants to know, how long should J Concept's wings last?
Forever, if you never crash.
Yeah. So I'm going to get myself in trouble, but I tend to use Losi wings just for that reason. Just for that reason. I'm not saying I'm not saying J Concept's wings are flimsy. What I'm saying is, out of all the wings out there, I think Losi wings are the strongest.
Yeah, but they work better.
I don't know.
I have like
Saturday.
I have 2 of every wing in my box. Like, I'll change wings just to try, and that makes a huge change.
I will say that
it makes a huge difference.
I will say the new carpet wing that we've been running, the J Concepts carpet, that one works.
That's the one
that one works really good.
Yeah, this is the one I always use on everything.
Yeah.
Like I have all the wings there. I've tried all the wings, and this wing works the best.
Yeah.
The 7-inch Aero carpet wing.
Yep.
Like, that's the only wing you need.
So I don't know, the real question to that, or the real answer to that, is it kind of depends on how you crash, how often you crash, I guess. But they give you 2 wings usually for a reason.
Yeah, this wing's been on my car for like, I don't know, 2 months. Been on my wing.
I feel like I've changed wings quite a bit this year for some reason. I think I've been crashing more. Like once a month. Once a month almost.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get, like, I could probably run this the rest of the summer series, this one wing.
Yeah. Our producer says language.
What'd I do?
I must have dropped an S-bomb earlier.
Shoot.
Oh, shoot.
Jeez.
Oh, jeez. Clayton Whitmire said he loved the new camera quality of the YouTube videos. That's good. Riley Filbert said Owen's announcing was better than the past. Did you hear Owen try to do my like the Biden family at a Chinese buffet?
Yeah.
And he missed it.
Yeah.
So funny. He didn't say Biden. He just said back together like something at a Chinese buffet, and I started cracking up because I'm like, dude, you missed the whole like point of the joke.
What is it that you say?
I say usually I say when a whole bunch of cars were strung out and then they all come back together again, I like to say it's like the Biden family at a Chinese buffet, because
I don't get the joke.
The joke is that Hunter Biden went and got like handfuls of cash from the Chinese government thanks to the influence of his father, and came back to the States, so being all rich and stuff, even though he's a crackhead. And so it's like that. That was some guys get it, not many, but some do.
Yeah. There's gonna be somebody that's like, oh, making fun of politics. Ooh.
Cringy.
Oh, I hate that guy now.
It's cringy. Steve RC, what does bonus lap membership give you? So basically, Live RC on some of their events when they're not fully. So Live RC nowadays, a lot of times will have some of the bonus lap content where you don't have to pay extra for it when they have a big time sponsor them, like give them money to cover this race. But at other events, you have to be a bonus lap member to get stuff like moving camera and all that. But also, now you have to be a bonus lap member to go back and watch all the video from all the races on live RC. So like,
really?
Yeah. So like, I'll video our mains, and then I'll put them up later. But you can go back if you're a bonus lap member. You can go back anytime that we have a camera going, which is usually for summer series, winter series, and our big events. Because this computer can handle OBS being up and taking care of the track lifetime, whereas the club race computer doesn't. So we normally don't have the video going for club races. So like in this case, like, you know, the 40 plus main, if I wanted to go back and watch that, I'd have to be a bonus lap member, but you could, because it would have the entire 8-minute main there. So that'd be awesome. What were you going to say?
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Peter Renault wants to know if you're getting Zelda on Friday.
What?
Is there a new Zelda game out for the new Nintendo
Oh, I didn't know that.
Switch?
There is?
I assume.
Huh. I didn't, unless it's, only if it's Breath of the Wild 2. I didn't think that was coming out on Friday.
Oh. Maybe it is in Canada.
Maybe
Canada gets special access because, like, they're all locked down and they can't go anywhere.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll have to have PETA send me a copy.
Yeah. What transmission did you put in your gas truck? Can it only do a laydown?
It can only do a layback.
Or layback.
transmission.
Okay, there you go.
Yep. Layback. That's the only one that'll fit in it.
So a whole bunch of guys are saying no TikTok, don't do it. That's fine. I probably wasn't going to do it ever anyways. Literal ants in your pants. And isn't Dave Matthews' song Ants Marching? That is kind of funny.
Is it? I don't know.
No, it is. That's one of his songs is Ants Marching. Actually, funny story. So I used to be in high school, I was the cartoon editor for the North High newspaper for class of 97. Got second at state for that, for my artistic talent. And in one of we were so into Dave Matthews Band back then. Remember, it was 1997 that I put little ants marching in the outline of this political cartoon. You know how on the very bottom, barely legible, like you could barely see it because it starts off like this big and then they shrink it down to this big. So you had to really look at it and see it. And I snuck it in there. I was worried about getting in trouble, but I snuck this little train of ants marching into the school newspaper.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was
so risque.
It was risque because
what?
Well, I was already on the hot seat because I was in charge of a page. So if you're in journalism for the newspaper, everybody was in charge of a page on it, and I had to go in and I was in charge of the editorial page, and I had to type in digitally the text balloons for my political cartoon. And this is so stupid. So full disclosure, I was a creative writing major in college. And one of the reasons why I was first in English, I changed my majors a lot, but I ended up with creative writing. But I was really focused on writing because I was so bad at it early. But at the same time, I was kind of good at it. It's kind of like art. Art was always like a hobby and stuff, but writing, I always wanted to write, but I was pretty bad at it, right? And so I really attacked it in college and ended up being a creative writing major. Now I feel like I can actually write pretty good. But I was in charge of this page, and I put, instead of spelling sure, S-U-R-E, I spelled it S-H-U-R-E. and it made it through, and they printed off all the copies of this paper. And then it was the one that we were going to turn into state. And so I had to go back and fix it, and they reran the whole thing, and it cost a whole bunch of money, all because of me, my mistake. So, yeah. So, playing around with the newspaper after that was kind of a bad area for me.
Yeah.
Sam, if you're on here, John Haas says that Tom's Plex setup is on Facebook. So there you go. Peter Renault says Detroit style coney. That sounds really good. No ketchup.
Yeah. No ketchup, please. I don't like ketchup. Did he say anything about the Zelda game?
No, not yet.
Peter.
He's only getting 1 week per wing, so you should be getting more than that.
Yeah.
Make sure that when you cut out your wing, so this is a big mistake that I used to make. Make sure that when you cut out your wing that you are rounding off all your edges. Do not have any straight edges on your wing. Round everything off, and that'll make your wings last longer. And then you should be taking like sandpaper or like a sanding brick or something, and just scuffing all the edges down too, so it's less easy for that to tear. That helps out a lot.
Yeah, I just use a Dremel, and I put that sweet radius and everything.
Yep. Yeah, there you go. That'll work too. Let's see. Jason Haley wants to know, we're almost done. When my gas truck is upside down, do I have to give it gas to keep it going?
You want to just barely pull any throttle.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't wail on it.
Yeah, you pretty much don't want it to suck the line dry.
Yeah.
If it isn't like clunking, or if the pickup can't pick up the fuel anymore.
Skyward Sword remake. Zelda.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Okay. All right. There you go.
I didn't realize that was coming out on Friday, but yeah, I knew about that.
Okay.
Well, man, I don't know why they're remaking that one. Like, they should have remade Ocarina of Time. That's the one I
think that was the last one I played. Was Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, that's the one they should have remade.
Couple more. Peter wants to know if he should put the layback in his stadium truck for a large outdoor loose dirt.
Yeah, or 3-year stand up.
And
yeah, I mean, like loose dirt, you would want at least the layback transmission, I would think. But
yeah.
Well, I don't even know if you can buy the 3-year stand up anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. We got a bunch of them for the B6, but not for anything newer at the Plex.
Yeah.
He says it's the mounting area of the wing. I've had that problem, but it's let's see, which wing was that? So I had a certain wing that would always break right there, but then I changed wings to the carpet one. I haven't had that problem since. So I can't remember the name of the other one. Okay. That's all we got. Peter says he's taking the day off to play. That sounds like fun. Wish I could do that.
Man, Peter needs to move to Nebraska.
Yeah. All right.
RC cars and Zelda.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right. Well, that's all we got. I'm gonna go to the Plex and water the track so we don't lose handle on the racetrack tonight.
Yeah, I can't lose the handle.
And look forward to Saturday Truck Series this weekend. I'm excited. Like I said, we got Family Friday, off road on Friday, after hours on Thursday night. I think I got my drag card actually done without any sort of video, so I'll probably be working on my plane or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I had a really good day today. I had a really good RC day today. I got a lot of stuff done. So
yeah,
I think that's
if anybody has a stock slash I can drive, I'll drive it.
Yeah, we need another stock slash. Everybody should have a stock slash and race at the Saturday Truck Series. I think it'd be fun.
But if not, I'll just be rocking my gas truck.
Yep. Steve RC, yes, we run the carpet wing in dirt too. So, Yep,
High grip.
that's right.
It works really good.
Yep. Okay, well, that's it. Always remember this show right now is sponsored by Pivot Lending Group. We're going to ride that train as long as we can. Make sure you mention our show to either Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad, and mention our show. Get 0.125 off your interest rate or $500 lender credit if you get a home loan or refinance. And they do good work, and it's really quick and easy. So I know because I got personal experience.
Yeah.
And that's it for now. We're going to sign off, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. See you guys next week.
Yep.
Talk about our truck series.
Yep. It's going to be fun.